girl bought some food for a beggar. A minute later, he gave her a note that made her cry. Anybody who has previously visited New York City was fully aware of the issues surrounding homelessness in general and the metro specifically. One of the most well-known cities in the world, New York City is plagued by an enormous number of homeless individuals and beggars. Maya is a little child who has spent several years living in New York. She believed that living in a large metropolis would enable her to fulfill her aspirations after earning her college degree. Maya attended the university to study journalism, thus the ideal location for her to travel was to New York as a hotspot for events. New York is an ideal destination for a budding journalist searching for compelling tales. Maya told her mother that in an attempt to persuade her to move out of the house. Maya was raised in a devoted family. She was the sole child of a dedicated mother and a hard-working father. Her parents provided their daughter with all the loving care required to become an involved member of society because they loved her more than anything else in the world. Although Maya had affection for her parents as well, her primary concern was her desire to become a well-known journalist. She didn't see any other option, even though she knew she would be leaving her mother in heartbreak. She was astounded by the size of the city when she first arrived in New York. Everywhere one saw was crowded with people. She soon discovered that living in a busy metropolis wasn't easy for success. Maya left her resume in every newspaper in the city, expecting a call shortly, but that never materialized. Her pals informed her that it's not as simple as she believed to work as a journalist in New York. Like Maya's, those publications receive hundreds of job applications, and most of the time they don't respond. Maya's pals advised her to look for work while she waits for a response to her applications. In a large New York restaurant, Maya began her career as a waiter. Even if it wasn't her ideal work, she was at least earning enough money to maintain her lifestyle in one of the priciest cities on earth. Maya was searching for the job she had come to the city for because she wasn't content at her current work. But she received an idea that she may use from there when she observed the kind of patrons who frequented the eatery. Maya noticed that many wealthy and well-known individuals attended the restaurant where she was employed after working there for a few months. Some of the editors of the city's most well-known newspapers were among them. Maya considered approaching one of them, but she wanted to wait for the right opportunity to do so in order to avoid being turned down and losing her job at the same time. Maya happened to run into Mark, the editor of a newspaper she had applied to but never heard back from, one day. In an attempt to get an opportunity to introduce herself to him, she hurried to be the one serving that table. Mark was a regular client of the restaurant, having lunch there every day, so Maya was really fortunate that day. He questioned Maya if she was a new employee, telling her that he hadn't seen her at the restaurant before. She had never seen him before, he added, because he had been visiting his family outside of the city. Maya took advantage of the conversation to question Mark about the position at the newspaper, particularly when he inquired as to why she had relocated to New York. Though Maya wasn't sure how he would respond, she ultimately made the decision to tell him the truth despite her initial reluctance. People come to the city believing that achieving their dreams is easy, and they get disappointed when they realize they need to work for it, Mark chuckled. Maya answered, I'm prepared to put in the effort. I've already left behind my cozy home and my dear family to come here. I'll stop at nothing to realize my dream. So get to work, and the next time, instead of just telling me that you applied for a job like everyone else in the city, I want you to show me your work, Mark said. Mark then turned to go, leaving Maya reflecting deeply on what he had told her. She was motivated by Mark's remarks and began looking for a topic for her writing. She had to come up with a tale that would pique Mark's curiosity, but she wasn't sure where to begin. The train was traveling into Manhattan on a gloomy and chilly Tuesday afternoon, passing through Bushwick and East New York, two working-class areas in Brooklyn. There was not much of a rush for seats at that hour. People were reading newspapers, talking, napping with their construction boots spread wide over the aisle, or just sitting and staring at nothing. After a tough workday, Maya was headed home when she had an epiphany. Every single one of these beggars and homeless persons on the streets and in the subway has a backstory that contributed to their current state of existence. Perhaps they were like her at some point. Perhaps they moved to the city to pursue their goals, but wound up living on the streets and pleading with strangers for food or cash. That evening, as soon as Maya got home, she opened her laptop and searched for a story to cover. She soon came across one that piqued her curiosity. She viewed a video clip that someone had taken while riding the subway in Brooklyn. In the video, a man helps a shirtless man put on his own t-shirt by approaching him. After leaving, the passenger returns holding a black hat, which he covers the homeless man's head with. People were discussing the subject on social media because it was so intriguing. They were giving the kind man props for giving up his own shirt and cap for the destitute fellow. It was apparent to Maya that although everyone was talking about this individual, nobody was mentioning the homeless man. Nobody made an effort to find out his tale or even inquired as to how this man came to be living on the streets in that manner. It was just Maya who asked the inquiry. Maya didn't know where to look for this man, but she knew what she was going to write about. She considered searching the metro for him until she located him. Maya phoned her employer to let them know she wouldn't be able to come in for the following week due to illness. She searched for the homeless man she saw in the video for the whole week, making daily trips to the train. She changed trains every day and looked through every metro line hoping to find him. While Maya was riding the train one day, she noticed a very exhausted-looking person resting in a corner of the station. Maya hurried out of the train and went up to the man. She didn't realize she had discovered him until then. He accepted Maya's offer to buy him some food. She brought him to a restaurant close to the metro stop and placed an order for him. Together, they began to eat and converse. Maya approached the man who was homeless, saying she had seen him on the video and was curious about how he got to be homeless. Maya was informed by the homeless man that he was an artist. He used to perform music in clubs. In essence, he was employed by a small club in his hometown, but moved to New York to pursue his ambition of being a member of a well-known band or anything similar. He began working at hotels and clubs as soon as he got to the large metropolis, hoping that eventually someone would notice his talent and bring him to the public. However, that never took place. A few years later, Mark became ill and was unable to work. The doctors informed him that because he had lost control of the nerves in his hands, he would never be able to play again. The destitute man informed her that he was certain that no one would identify him, therefore he didn't want to provide his name. He said that he was born to a single mother who passed very shortly after giving birth, and that he never met his father. He spent his early years living with his grandmother, who passed away when he was 15. He had to take care of himself ever since. Maya was moved to tears by this homeless man's story. She felt drawn to him for some reason. She promised to try her hardest to make sure the man got the assistance he required as she thanked him and offered him some cash. The man gave Maya a little piece of paper as she was leaving and said he had written her a letter, urging her to read it later. She began reading the message after opening it on her way home. The man was expressing gratitude to Maya for her attention and hearing his tale, in addition to providing him with food and cash. She was the only person who had feelings for him. Maya was moved to tears by this message because it made her understand that anybody may become like him. After returning home, Maya began writing the tale of a destitute man who traveled to a huge city to fulfill a dream, but who ended up on the streets with no one giving a damn about him or his goals. She said that nobody seemed to care about his suffering, even after he appeared in a video that went viral. She said that this narrative should fascinate everyone since it could be the story of any young man traveling to New York to pursue his goals. She presented the paperwork to Mark. When they next met, Mark assured her that he would investigate and give her a call back if he thought it was good. A few days later, Mark gave Maya a call and invited her to come see him at the newspaper's office. Mark informed Maya that he was working on getting the piece published in the newspaper since he thought it was a good idea. In addition, he informed her that she had to quit the restaurant as she would be starting work at the newspaper the following week. Many organizations contacted Maya after the story was published to try to get in touch with the homeless man. His tale affected many people, and many of them wanted to support him. As she had promised, Maya went out to the guy and gave him the assistance he required.